Hey everybody, I'm Jeffrey Vizcaíno here at Playbill, and I have the honor of sitting down with three-time Tony nominee. You know him from Rent, from Wicked, In the Heights, duh. You know from La Cage, Boys in the Band, and now obviously he's making the jump on the new Netflix series Black Rabbit, but I will forever always know him from my favorite movie, Camp. Robin de Jesus, thank you for being here.
My absolute pleasure, Jeffrey. Thank you so much.
Well, let's get right into it. We talk about you're in this hit Netflix series right now, Black Rabbit. Tell me, how did this project come across to you, and tell me what this whole thing was like.
Yeah, the project came to me the more traditional route. My agent had hit me up. Alexa Fogel was casting, and she's always been really kind to me. And in this world now of self-tapes, like it's not everyone's cup of tea.
Sure,
and
sure.
what really stuck out about this one initially before reading anything was the fact that it was actually like a meeting over Zoom. And at the time I had such self-tape fatigue that I was like, oh, thank God, I get to actually like vibe off of someone's energy and just be as even like another level of present, if that makes sense. And then I read the scenes in the script and I was like, oh, yo, this is bonkers good. Yeah. Like, these people are unwell. This is crazy. Yes. I definitely want to be a part of this. And, you know, I had my initial call, went really, really well. And then the second one was a chemistry read with Jason Bateman. And I just remember, name drop.
Yeah.
And, because Jason is the lead in the show and he also directed the first 2 episodes. He's a producer. It's his production company too. And so when Jason popped in on the screen, it just was like a jolt of energy.
Sure.
He has such presence and he feels very intuitive. And I knew, I was like, yo, I'm supposed to mess with this vibe and energy. And he gave me some direction that was really great and really simple. You know, when you're meeting with directors, for me as an actor, the number one question is, how do you communicate? And can I receive it easily? Because if you can't communicate, then
It's done.
we're screwed, yeah. And he was just so effective in the easiest way. And he just kind of started smiling when I finished in a way that was like, bitch, you about to book.
You must have booked this. I love that. But like, tell us, for those who don't know, without giving too much away, what is Black Rabbit?
So Black Rabbit is a story of these 2 brothers who are estranged, played by Jude and Jason Bateman.
Another name drop.
Yes. And the 2 of them reconnect while Jude's character has this booming restaurant and Jason's character brings on a bunch of chaos. But you sort of realize that like maybe Jude isn't as unchaotic as you think as well, and sort of watching the ripple effect that their actions have on their community and the ensemble around them.
Yeah.
So you know, Roxy's character, one of the female leads in the show, she's the head chef. I am her sous chef. My character is the local drug dealer, cokehead, party boy, who also handles his stuff, but is messy. And all these terrible things are happening, and Roxy has a little more consciousness than me, and I'm starting to receive that. And there's this questioning of who do I want to be, and what do I want to be about?
So what's really cool, this storyline, the whole show in general, and you mentioned as well, Jason's starring in it, he's also directing 2 episodes, and then the 3rd and 4th episode, directed by Laura Linney. I mean, the name dropping is just like everywhere, all over the series. Did she direct stuff that you were in? You got to work with her. What was that like?
Oh man, the first day with her was so rough for me, y'all, because they like a storyline that I had was removed. It was just too much.
Yeah.
I had a boyfriend, and it was actually like a friend of mine in the theater community was gonna play. That it was like, yo, that sucks. But this really cool conversation came from that, because my first day shooting with her, I had this monologue that was no longer applicable without the boyfriend. And so I got to have this combo with one of the showrunners, Zach Balin, and Kate Sussman, they co-wrote it. And I had a combo with him, and we just talked about what Tony's wants were. And what showed up was that he wasn't just this F-boy at the restaurant who was just getting by. He was actually someone who's an artist, a culinary artist, and wanted his own space.
Yeah.
And so overnight they wrote me a new monologue, and I showed up that morning, and it was like, all right, now read it, or not even read it, perform it in front of Laura Linney. And that was just like, my ego was like, nah, bro, you're not gonna set me up for this failure. And luckily it all worked out wonderfully.
Yeah.
But she was really dope. Her direction was really great. But the thing I loved the most about her was, I didn't know that she was a musical theater girly. And Pippin came up.
Oh,
and I think it was the first show she saw with her family was the original cast of Pippin with Ben Vereen.
Nice.
And so we went from shooting this thriller and like figuring stuff out to like, while the lights are being switched and the crew's doing their thing, we're playing the finale and deciding what our version of Pippin would be, and is this really a musical about suicide? And so that was the kiki.
That's dope.
With her,
that's
right?
real dope. So Tony, this sous chef, tell me, I mean, did you get to go into a kitchen to train a little bit? I mean, because you're doing some fancy work. I see, I mean, you're doing with the pans and the frying and the thing, and the cutting and all the things. I mean, if I were ever asked to, it'd be like, I know how to work that microwave. I know how to hit those buttons. But tell me, what was that like for you? Yeah.
I mean, I'm someone who's always cooked, and cooking is pretty spiritual for me. In that, it is a cultural thing. Well, I don't need to go into that because I'm very new age, and I'll go off on a tangent. But I have a facility in the kitchen, but I don't have technique, and so it's just like guerrilla style when I do stuff.
Sure.
And so we had this wonderful woman named Millicent. I hope I'm saying her last name right. Soros. I hate when people say people's names incorrectly, but Millicent was bomb. And Millicent was in charge of all the food stuff. She came up with what the aesthetic of the menu was gonna be in the restaurant. And so, you know, there's a pot pie with like a chicken foot sticking out of it.
Yes.
So then she'd make sure, okay, well, what station would that be made at? Let me make sure that all the ingredients in the pot pie are at that station, so whoever's there that day, you know, dramaturgically it's making sense, right?
Totally.
And so we took classes together on our knife skills, kitchen culture. We had a set group of background kitchen workers that all were familiar with kitchens, and so we could also nerd out with them if we needed something. And she just had eyes on everything. And if Jason or whoever was directing at the time said, okay, someone needs an activity, she'd come in and tell you what would be the most realistic thing, or the thing that would help the scene the most, because she was also aware of she was very smart. So it wasn't just, let me give you an activity, it's like, let me give you an activity that serves.
Sure.
And then the really fun part too is like, you know, when you're cooking, when you're doing a scene and you're on the 14th take, sometimes Jason would be like, no, we don't have time for that. It doesn't matter. And so there was this thing of like, yes, we were very loyal to that kitchen culture, but if something had to be compromised, Jason was like, that's the first thing to go, y'all.
Yes.
Which was just really funny.
Yeah, totally. Black Rabbit right now. Tell me what's on the horizon for Robin. What's going on next? What projects do you have going on after?
So I can't say too much, but I have a film I'm shooting next month that I'm really stoked about with some theater folks.
Love.
And wonderful queer comedy. And I'm doing this new cartoon by the creators of The Big Mouth. Which I've done an episode before. And I'm looking for the right play. You know, I was supposed to do this play that my best friend wrote called The War I Know.
Okay.
It's been our passion project for several years now. I'm playing him in it. It's sort of, you know, he's been HIV positive for over 20 years now, and he's really interested in the parallels between the crack and AIDS epidemic and AIDS and COVID. And so it's just something we're looking at, especially as Latino men. I think a lot of Latino and Black men, we lost our gay elders. Obviously, we all lost queer folks during the AIDS epidemic. But for Black and brown folks, we never really got to see elders in our media because we also lost folks to the crack AIDS intersecting.
Sure.
And also because just like white supremacy be white supremacying, and like
No, truly, those stories have not been told.
They've not, or told well. And so it sounds very dreary and heavy, and it is at times, but it's also a really good comedy.
Yeah. All right, let's play now that we've gotten through the stuff. I have some social questions. We're gonna do kind of a lightning round situation, but since obviously Tony is the food man, the chef one, I'm gonna ask you some food related questions, and we're just gonna see how we do with this. Okay,
right.
So here we go. All right, Rum de Jesus, tell me, go-to cuisine of choice.
Shaba. Cuisine of choice is gonna be Caribbean.
Where in New York City would you go for good Caribbean food?
I mean, I know it sounds so crazy, it sounds boring, but like Empanada Mama is always a cute little fix.
Why not?
Copelia on 14th
Yes,
Street.
yes.
I was just there. That's Rihanna's favorite restaurant in New York. So if it's good enough for our princess, our queen, then it's good enough for this queen.
I love that. I love that.
Yep.
You're seeing a show on Broadway. Intermission. What is that drink of choice you're going to the bar for?
It's probably gonna be like a whiskey ginger. Yeah, right?
All right.
Butch.
Very. She's very. Okay. Where are you going for a bite or a drink afterwards?
Post show, I'm really chill. I love me a Dutch Fred's. They have gluten-free chicken tenders. Like, not even because like they're catering to gluten-free people, it just is.
Done. Must-have item in your fridge at all times.
Watermelon.
What are you doing out of season? Are you still finding it wherever
I
you
will
need to?
find that hoe wherever she is. You know what?
Best burger in New York City.
So I live in the Bronx, and there's a spot called Charlie's that is known for having the best burger in the Bronx, and it's pretty freaking bombs. And if you are a discriminatory person who won't visit the Bronx, maybe you should look at that behavior and come up north and visit us.
What are you bringing to the potluck?
I am bringing pastelón, which is like a plantain lasagna.
Yes.
When white folks taste plantains and ground beef and cheese, they're like, oh, I didn't know.
Robin, thank you so much for being here
pleasure.
today. Y'all, if you're watching this now, when you're done watching this video, head over to Netflix, watch Black Rabbit, now on Netflix. Thank you again, Robin.
Word. Peace out, y'all.